Hello, Krafty Friends. This is Jen from Katahdin Crafts, and I am back today with another fun collaboration with my friend Marla Harris at Mad About Cards and Crafts. Today we are working with Hello Bluebird again. We both love Hello Bluebird stamps, and we found that we have a lot in our collection that are just kind of sitting there on the shelves. So our intentions with this collaboration is to get them off of our shelves and into our hands and onto some paper for some lovely cards, and inspiration for you all to do the same. For my Slimline Valentine card today, I am going to start off with Trinity Stamps, Slimline Series Stitched Borders and Windows, I do believe it's called. I will have that linked below. For the base of my card panel, I cut out the largest rectangle, which is 8.5 by 3.5. And then for my middle part, I cut out the smallest section with those little square windows. As you can see, I just layered that in and cut that out on my die cut machine. And now I'm going to start with my background. I'm using Maker Forte's layered heart stencils today. I am only going to use one of the stencils, the smaller one, but I wanted you to see how they do all layer on top of each other. And the thing that I like about these stencils is that there's so much border around it, so I can layer this onto a slimline card and then slide it over and not have to worry about any overlap. That works out really well. And I'm going to use some Spun Sugar Oxide inks. Oxide inks are my favorite inks to use as far as blending goes because it kind of goes on smooth. And then I'm going to just slide this over, and as you can see, this is what I mean about having the large border. And also, I do believe that Maker Forte has just come out with a mat that matches up their stencils like this, so you can layer them all perfectly on top of each other. And now what I'm going to do is just kind of go in between all of those Spun Sugar hearts with some Tattered Rose. And again, they have such a nice wide boundary around each of them that I don't have to worry about overlapping the hearts and getting any unwelcomed layering. And so I'm just picking and choosing the hearts that I'm going to layer on there or put in between. And now I'm just going to pick that up and I'm going to slide it over, and I'm just going to position it the way I want it in those white empty spaces and fill those in. So there was really no rhyme or reason to this. I just kind of did it as I found aesthetically pleasing. And for the heart of my card, I am using Hello Bluebird's Next Door Gnome stamp. I am using just about every little gnome in this set for my little couples on my Love is Love Slimline card. I'm going to use Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink and stamp those out, and then use my scan and cut to die cut all of them out, all my images that I'm going to use today. And then I am going to Copic marker color. And I am going to speed this section up because I'm doing a lot of Copic marker coloring. And I'm not going to show you all the outfits, how I color them today, because I'm using very simple coloring method. With those, I'm only using 2 different colors. I'm not even doing a mid-tone. I'm just doing a light and a dark. But I wanted to show you these different skin tone combinations that I'm using today, so I wanted to include this. I'm trying to make a very diversified group of little gnomes. And I've made sure that you can see all of my caps from my markers on screen, so you can pull those out if you would like to try to do these as well. In this one, I'm making a little bit of a reddish beard because he looks kind of like a little leprechaun to me. And maybe I just have some St. Patrick's Day on my mind. Can't wait for that corned beef and cabbage. That's the only time of year that I actually have corned beef and cabbage. I'm not really sure why that is, but that is my one day and I love it. So there you go. I went off on a little tangent on corned beef and cabbage. I absolutely love doing these collaborations with Marla. She is so super talented and creative, and I cannot wait to see what she comes up with today. I have no idea what stamp sets she's using or die cuts or anything. I just know that it's going to be from Hello Bluebird. So it's always a surprise to us when we see each other's projects as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And how's everybody's winter going? We have gotten like 3 major storms in a week and a half here in northern Maine. My 2 of our household members had COVID a couple weeks ago. I have one daughter that had a broken thumb and a broken nose, and then another that has a severe sprained ankle, because we are in the middle of basketball season and we are having a tricky time about it, that's for sure. But yeah, it just keeps us on our toes, and it's making the winter months go really fast. And everybody's on the mend now, though, so it's all good, all good. So as you can see, I have all of my little gnomes colored and ready to be placed on my card. I picked some Valentine's pastel colors and a little bit of bold with that red, but I wanted to keep with the whole Valentine's Day theme of colors. So for my sentiment today, I'm using the Stamp Market Love and Confetti die cut. So I wanted it to match perfectly with my card. So I'm going to use some scrap paper and just blend on some Tattered Rose and also that spun sugar. And then I'm going to cut out those die cuts on that. This is the spun sugar, and I just had blended out the Tattered Rose. And then these are very, very small and delicate, but so pretty. And I love all the different sizes of the hearts, and I am going to incorporate all of that into this card today. So now I'm just going to figure out my design placement for my gnomes in the sentiment. And then I am going to take the time to write on the larger hearts the word is. And I did practice on this to see if I wanted it printed or if I wanted it to be cursive. And I decided on a little bit more of a fancier script to match the elegance of the word love. And now I'm going to pop up this center frame. I could have made a shaker card out of this, and I thought about that too, but I really liked the way that the hearts came out, and I didn't want to cover those with that heart stencil. So I'm just going to use one layer of foam tape along each edge. And then this is about when I realized that I actually taped the foam tape to the front part of that. So now I'm putting on the little window section backwards. Yep, it happens. Mistakes happen. So I just had to go to a quick plan B, and I cut out another frame and glued that on top. So all fixed. Just a little bit more of a layer. All right, I'm just going to make sure that that's lined up as perfectly as I could get it. I'm okay, because I'm not perfect, and I think it came out. And now I'm going to glue on these little scripty words, and of course I can't find my tweezers because they always go missing from my desk. Whether it's me, the cats, the kids, I don't know. I go through tweezers like crazy. So I'm just going to struggle a little bit with some precision glue and get those on. And this is where I'm going to put love, and then the love with my little heart that I wrote is in the middle. And this makes reference to Lin-Manuel Miranda's, I believe it was for a Tony acceptance speech that he made a few years ago, where he said love is love is love is love, and that has stuck with me and I like it. So I thought that I would incorporate that into my Valentine's Day card today. So I added the rest of the love is underneath, or on top of or underneath each little square window. And now I'm going to also pop up all of my gnomes to make them on the same dimension as the windows. As you can see, I'm just going to fit each little bit of that tape to each character. And now with my little mushroom, I am just putting a little bit of foam on the corner, and then I'm going to glue that onto the edge because that is going to be overlapping onto that frame. And that way it doesn't give it any extra dimension. And now the fun part of adding all of those little hearts. This actually was fun. I just put little dots of precision glue all around my frame, and I started with the larger hearts, and then I went to the medium-sized ones, and then they have some tiny itty-bitty hearts that I also added around that frame. And I love the way it came out. I absolutely love mixing and matching different companies to make a card. That helps me get my creativeness going. So that was fun to use some Trinity stamps, the Stamp Market, and as well as my Bluebird to make this Slimline card today. So now I'm just going to pop this onto a card base, and it is all set. So thank you so much for joining us again today with our collaboration. Make sure that you pop over and see Marla's creation. I will have her linked below. I am so excited to be doing these collaborations with her. She gets my creativeness going for me. It's amazing the wonderful friends that I've met in this crafting community, and Marla is definitely one of the best. So thanks again very much for creating and crafting with us today. If you haven't subscribed, I'd really appreciate that. You can join me or visit me on Facebook and on Instagram. And again, I will have Marla linked below, and please make it over. And we love to hear from you. Feel free to leave some comments. Thanks so much, everybody. Happy crafting.